Hello dear friend, and welcome to On This Day SMR with me, Edward Hertz, where we take a look back through history at events which took place on this day. The rain is gently pittering and pattering away on the window, and the fire is crackling away nicely in the hearth. So put your headphones on, sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey back through time. Today is Saturday the 17th of February 2024, and we have 50 events to cover, going all the way back to the year 1370. Starting with the most recent event, which happened 8 years ago. Military vehicles explode outside a Turkish armed forces barracks in Ankara, Turkey, killing at least 29 people and injuring 61 others. 9 years ago in 2015, 18 people are killed and 78 injured in a stampede at a Mardi Gras parade in Haiti. 13 years ago in 2011, in the Arab Spring, Libyan protests against Muammar Gaddafi's regime begin. In the same year, also in the Arab Spring, in Bahrain, security forces launch a deadly pre-dawn raid on protesters in Pearl Roundabout in Manama. The day is locally known as Bloody Thursday. 16 years ago in 2008, Kosovo declares independence from Serbia. 18 years ago in 2006, a massive mudslide occurs in southern Leyte, Philippines. The official death toll is set at 1,126. 28 years ago in 1996, in Philadelphia, world champion Garry Kasparov beats the Deep Blue supercomputer in a chess match. In the same year, NASA's Discovery program begins as the NEAR Shoemaker spacecraft lifts off on the first mission ever to orbit and land on an asteroid, 433 Eros. Also in the same year, the 8.2 magnitude Biak earthquake shakes the Papua province of eastern Indonesia with a maximum Mercalli intensity of 8. A large tsunami followed, leaving 166 people dead or missing and 423 injured. 29 years ago in 1995, the Sinapa War between Peru and Ecuador ends on a ceasefire brokered by the UN. 32 years ago in 1992, in the First Nagorno-Karabakh War, Armenian troops massacre more than 20 Azerbaijani civilians during the capture of Garadagli. 33 years ago in 1991, Ryan International Airlines Flight 590 crashes during takeoff from Cleveland Hopkins International Airport, killing both pilots, the aircraft's only occupants. 44 years ago in 1980, first winter ascent of Mount Everest by Christoph Veliky and Leszek Sishi. 45 years ago in 1979, the Sino-Vietnamese War begins. 46 years ago in 1978, the Troubles. The Provisional IRA detonates an incendiary bomb at the Le Mans restaurant near Belfast, killing 12 and seriously injuring 30 others, all Protestants. 50 years ago in 1974, Robert K. Preston, a disgruntled US Army private, buzzes the White House in a stolen helicopter. 52 years ago in 1972, cumulative sales of the Volkswagen Beetle exceed those of the Ford Model T. 54 years ago in 1970, Jeffrey R. MacDonald, United States Army captain, is charged with murder of his pregnant wife and 2 daughters. 55 years ago in 1969, American aquanaut Barry L. Cannon dies of carbon dioxide poisoning while attempting to repair a leak in the Sealab-free underwater habitat. The Sealab project was subsequently abandoned. "59 years ago in 1965, Project Ranger. The Ranger 8 probe launches on its mission to photograph the Mare Tranquillitatis region of the Moon in preparation for the crewed Apollo missions. Mare Tranquillitatis, or the Sea of Tranquility, would become the site chosen for the Apollo 11 lunar landing. 60 years ago in 1964, in Wesbury v. Sanders, the Supreme Court of the United States rules that congressional districts have to be approximately equal in population. 60 years ago in 1964, Gabonese President Leon Mba is toppled by a coup and his rival, Jean-Hilaire Orbem, is installed in his place. 65 years ago in 1959, Project Vanguard, Vanguard 2. The first weather satellite is launched to measure cloud cover distribution. In the same year, a Turkish Airlines Vickers Viscount crashes near Gatwick Airport, killing 14. Turkish Prime Minister Adnan Menderes survives the crash. 75 years ago in 1949, Chaim Weizmann begins his term as the first president of Israel. 76 years ago in 1948, the Al-Waziri coup briefly ousts the ruling Hamidadin dynasty of Yemen. Imam Yahya Muhammad Hamid ed-Din is killed. 80 years ago in 1944, in World War II, the Battle of Eniwetok begins. The battle ends in an American victory on February the 22nd. In the same year, again in World War II, Operation Hailstone begins. US naval air, surface and submarine attacks against Truk Lagoon, Japan's main base in the Central Pacific, in support of the Eniwetok invasion. 105 years ago in 1919, the Ukrainian People's Republic asks the Entente and the United States for help fighting the Bolsheviks. 111 years ago in 1913, the Armory Show opens in New York City, displaying works of artists who are to become some of the most influential painters of the early 20th century. 119 years ago in 1905, the Russian Revolution of 1905, Grand Duke Sergei Alexandrovich of Russia is assassinated in the Moscow Kremlin by socialist revolutionary Ivan Kalayev. 159 years ago in 1865, in the American Civil War, Columbia, South Carolina is burned as Confederate forces flee from advancing Union forces. 160 years ago in 1864, again in the American Civil War, the H.L. Hunley becomes the first submarine to engage and sink a warship, the USS Housatonic. 161 years ago in 1863, a group of citizens of Geneva found an international committee for relief to the wounded, which later became known as the International Committee of the Red Cross. 165 years ago in 1859, in the Cochin China campaign, the French Navy captures the citadel of Saigon, a fortress manned by 1,000 Goyan dynasty soldiers en route to conquering Saigon and other regions of southern Vietnam. "170 years ago in 1854, the United Kingdom recognises the independence of the Orange Free State. "186 years ago in 1838, in the Weenen Massacre, hundreds of Voortrekkers along the Blauwkrans River near Tal are killed by Zulus. 205 years ago in 1819, the United States House of Representatives passes the Missouri Compromise for the first time. 210 years ago in 1814, War of the Sixth Coalition, the Battle of Mormant. 223 years ago in 1801, United States presidential election. A tie in the Electoral College between Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr is resolved when Jefferson is elected President of the United States and Burr Vice President by the United States House of Representatives. 271 years ago in 1753, in Sweden, February the 17th is followed by March the 1st as the country moves from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar. 285 years ago in 1739, the Battle of Versailles commences as the Marathas move to invade Portuguese-occupied territory. 348 years ago in 1676, 16 men of Pascual de Inate's expedition are lost at Evangelistas Islets at the western end of the Strait of Magellan. 350 years ago in 1674, an earthquake strikes the Indonesian island of Ambon. It triggers a 100-metre or 330-foot mega tsunami, which drowns over 2,300 people. "403 years ago in 1621, Miles Standish is appointed as first military commander of the English Plymouth colony in North America. 408 years ago in 1616, Nurhaci proclaims himself Khan of the later Jin, precursor to the Qing dynasty. 424 years ago in the year 1600, on his way to be burned at the stake for heresy at Campo de Fiori in Rome, the philosopher Giordano Bruno has a wooden vise put on his tongue to prevent him continuing to speak. 524 years ago in the year 1500, Duke Friedrich and Duke Johann attempt to subdue the peasantry of Dithmarschen, Denmark, in the Battle of Hemmingstead. 613 years ago in 1411, following the successful campaigns during the Ottoman interregnum, Musa Celebi, one of the sons of Bayezid I, becomes Sultan of the Ottoman Empire with the support of Mircea I of Wallachia. 654 years ago in the year 1370, in the Northern Crusades, Grand Duchy of Lithuania and the Teutonic Knights meet in the Battle of Rudau. So that is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you found our little trip back through history both relaxing and informative. If you did indeed like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and also consider leaving a comment below. All feedback is very much welcome. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help the channel grow and will ensure that you are notified of future videos. Be sure to turn on notifications so that you are notified of future videos as soon as they are posted. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.